Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is Sports Buzz with me, Deepika Mehto, and coming up in the next half an hour. Ahead of Paris Olympics, Union Sports Minister launches Pathway to Paris booklet, also launches Phase 2 of KELO India Rising Talent Identification Program in New Delhi. Indian women's cricket team all set to face Pakistan in T20 Asia Cup tonight. Team India comes with a strong record of 17 victories in hand across 20 matches. And in Sweden Open, Nadal rallies past Norrie to Bastad quarterfinals, currently facing Argentina's Navon in the quarterfinal round. India's Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, along with other members of the Parliament, launched Phase 2 of KELO India Rising Talent Identification Program, which is also called as KIRTI. The KELO India Rising Talent Identification Program aims to develop an integrated talent identification architecture based on modern information and communications technology tools, along with global best practices. Speaking on the occasion, Dr. Mandavia said the enthusiasm and energy of the players will definitely take Indian sports towards a bright future. Earlier, the first phase of KIRTI was launched in Chandigarh on the 12th of March this year.
KIRTI program के तहत मोदी 3.0 गवर्नमेंट में पहले 100 दिन में 1 लाख स्पोर्ट्स में टैलेंटेड यूथ को स्टूडेंट को आइडेंटिफाई करना है। 1 लाख स्टूडेंट को आइडेंटिफाई करना है और ऐसा ना हो कि केवल शहर के स्टूडेंट को ही अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले, गांव के स्टूडेंट को नहीं मिले। जी नहीं, शहर में भी ऐसे टैलेंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन करना है, गांव में भी टैलेंट आइडेंटिफिकेशन करना है। एक क्लास के स्टूडेंट को ही अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले जी नहीं, झोपड़े में रहने वाले मेरे देश के स्टूडेंट जिसमें स्पोर्ट्स में अच्छी स्किल हो उसमें से भी आइडेंटिफाई करना है और हमारे अन्य सोसाइटी से भी आइडेंटिफाई करना है।
Union Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia also participated in a panel discussion aimed at discussing India's preparations for the upcoming Paris Olympics in New Delhi's Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium. On the occasion, Union Sports Minister also launched a booklet called Pathway to Paris and urged everyone to come and become a part of India's journey towards development.
देश लॉकडाउन में था, तब सारी सरकार ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग कर रही थी 2047 का रोडमैप तैयार करने के लिए। ये रोडमैप का एक पार्ट स्पोर्ट्स भी है। हमें स्पोर्ट्स में भी मोदी जी ने लक्ष्य तय करा है कि 2047 में जब हम डेवलप्ड कंट्री हो तब हम 1 to 5, 1 से 5 में दुनिया में स्पोर्ट्स में भी हमारा क्रम होना चाहिए।
Ranjan Sodhi, shooter and Khel Ratna awardee, says that India is sending its strongest shooting squad at the upcoming Olympics. And he's also sure that India will come back with a greater record this time. Take a listen. We have with us Ranjan Sodhi, who's also the Khel Ratna awardee. So thank you so much for talking to DD India exclusively. When we talk about the contingent for the upcoming Paris Olympics, what do you have to say about it? How strong are we?
Very strong. And when I talk about shooting, 21 shooters have qualified for the games, which is the biggest number. And I'm very confident that they're going to do well. And everybody is qualified by winning a prominent medal, whether it's the World Championship, the World Cup, or the Asian Championship. They've all done well, and I'm very sure that they're going to come with flying colours from the games.
Considering the record number of athletes which are representing India at the shooting sport, when we talk about, there's been a wave of transformation which we've seen infrastructurally also over the years. What do you have to say about that? What's your take?
Government has spent a lot of money, and I mean, when I was shooting back in the day, I mean, I couldn't even fathom the fact, the amount of money to be given by the government throughout the whole Olympic cycle. So I'm sure whether it's sports science, whether it's anything, the government has done a great job, and I'm sure they're going to win medals this time.
Any message for the athletes cheering for them?
All the very best.
All right, so there you heard Mr. Sodhi, who says that he's really positive about the entire contingent and their performance at the upcoming Paris Olympics 2024. With camera person Ashish, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from New Delhi. Paralympic Committee of India's President Devendra Jhajaria lauded government crediting them in India's transformational journey and creating a better sporting culture across India. He talked exclusively to us on the sidelines of a panel discussion on India's preparedness for Paris Olympics. We have with us the celebrated star of Paralympics, Devendra Jhajaria, who is known to the world now. Sir, अब देश फिर से तैयार है पेरिस ओलंपिक्स और पैरालंपिक्स में भाग लेने के लिए. किस तरीके की उम्मीदें आपको नजर आती हैं?
देखिए, पेरिस ओलंपिक और पैरालंपिक की तैयारियां चल रही हैं, खिलाड़ियों में जोश है और जो भारत सरकार की जो योजनाएं स्पोर्ट्स के प्रति, चाहे वो टारगेट ओलंपिक पोडियम स्कीम हो, चाहे खेलो इंडिया स्कीम हो, बहुत सी ऐसी स्कीमें हैं जिनके भरोसे हम ये कह सकते हैं कि भारत ऐतिहासिक प्रदर्शन करेगा। जो भी सुविधाएं वो खिलाड़ियों को प्रॉपर मिली हैं और पहली बार मैं देख रहा हूँ खिलाड़ी फिजिकल तौर पे तो तैयार होते ही होते हैं, खिलाड़ी मानसिक तौर पे भी तैयार हैं। जब फिजिकली और मेंटली दोनों टाइप से खिलाड़ी फिट है तो मैं कह सकता हूँ भारत ऐतिहासिक परफॉर्मेंस देगा, चाहे वो पेरिस ओलंपिक हो चाहे पेरिस पैरालंपिक हो।
बहुत ज़रूरी बात कही है आपने कि मेंटली भी फिट है पूरा स्क्वाड हमारा 117 मेंबर का, और स्पोर्ट्स मंत्री ने भी अभी यही बात करी, खेल मंत्री ने, कि उन्हें चीयर करते रहना बहुत ज़रूरी है। उस चीज़ को लेकर और इस इवेंट को लेकर आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
हमारे चीफ गेस्ट थे माननीय खेल मंत्री जी, और उन्होंने भी ये कहा कि हम ये कह सकते हैं कि भारत अच्छा प्रदर्शन करेगा। और अच्छी बात है जब स्पोर्ट्स में खेल मंत्री जी आ रहे हैं, खिलाड़ियों को बुलाया जा रहा है और एक इंडिया में माहौल क्रिएट हो रहा है स्पोर्ट्स का, जिसे बोलते हैं ना स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर। वो स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर अब दिखने लग गई है भारत में। जब आपकी स्पोर्ट्स कल्चर आएगी तब आपकी मेडल टैली बढ़ेगी। और ख़ास करके आप एशियन पैरा एशियन गेम्स में जो स्लोगन था हमारा कि अब की बार 100 पार, दोनों में हमने 100 पार किए हैं। और मैं इतना कह सकता हूँ पैरालंपिक में पेरिस में अब की बार 25 पार।
ये बहुत बड़ी बात सुनी आपने, अब की बार 25 पार कहा है देवेंद्र जजारिया ने। सर, एक फाइनल मैसेज चीयरिंग फॉर टीम इंडिया जो आप देना चाहेंगे पूरे कंटिंजेंट को?
बस मैं सभी को मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत दुआएं देता हूं उनको, और उनके उज्जवल भविष्य की कामनाएं करता हूं। एक खिलाड़ी होने के नाते 20 साल इस देश से खेला हूं, 3 पैरालंपिक मेडल लिए हैं। मैं इतना कहना चाहता हूं खिलाड़ियों को कि सकारात्मक होकर के जाएं, और विशेष मैसेज ये देना चाहता हूं कि आपको ये सोचना मुझे मेरा बेस्ट करना है। यदि आप अपना बेस्ट करोगे तो मेडल भी जीतोगे। दबाव नहीं लेना है किसी प्रकार का, पूरे भारतीय उनके साथ हैं। और मैं सभी 140 करोड़ लोगों से ये अपील करता हूं कि इस गेम को देखें, सोशल मीडिया पे इन पे कमेंट करें, आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा इस गेम की भागीदारी को और बढ़ाएं।
So there you heard the Paralympian, the great star Devendra Jhajaria himself, who said that being positive is the mantra for the upcoming Paris Olympics and Paralympics. With camera person Ashish, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from New Delhi. So with the upcoming Paris Olympics 2024, which is just around the corner, the Olympic torch relay made its way through the Department of OE on Thursday. Stage 60 of the relay saw the torchbearer start in a Compoy before finishing up in Beauvais, where 1996 French Olympic fencing champion Sophie lit the cauldron. Friday's stage will go from Chateau de Temercourt to Soiseau-Montmorency. The relay will culminate with the lighting of the cauldron in the host city Paris during the opening ceremonies of the game, scheduled to take place on the 26th of July. The Paris Olympics Committee Its organizing committee said that a global cyber outage was slowing its operation, but the impact was limited and ticket sales were unaffected ahead of the games, which begins in a week's time now. The global tech outage that appeared to be related to issues at global cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike and Microsoft were affecting the operations in many sectors, including airports, airlines, media and the banks as well. At the Games Press Center, security checks outside were done manually using list of names, and the accreditation desk was also closed. The head of the Paris Olympics Organizing Committee, Tony Estanquet, said that contingency plans were put in place. Amidst all this, the first Olympic athletes to arrive in Paris began checking into the Olympic Village on Thursday. Athletes from Australia, South Africa, Japan, Uruguay and the United States were some of the first to arrive to the village, which is in Saint-Denis, adjacent to the city of Paris, where most of the competitions will be taking place. The complex will host more than 20,000 athletes and delegates throughout the Olympics and Paralympics. 1,500 residents will check into the village on the first day of the operations, with more to come throughout the week and into the lead up to the opening ceremonies. The Olympic Games will start from the 26th of July and will continue until the 11th of August. And now I'm joined by DD India correspondent from France, Ross Cullen. A very good evening to you from India, Ross. Now, athletes have started arriving and we are just a few days away from the mega event. How are the preparations going on there in Paris?
Yeah, people are starting to arrive now. The athletes, the dignitaries, the visitors are all starting to come in before Wednesday, the 24th of July, which marks the start of the sporting competition with some of the rugby and football preliminary matches, although the actual official opening ceremony will be on the 26th of July, and then the medal events begin the day after, next Saturday, so a week tomorrow. The first gold medals here in France for Paris 2024 will be handed out. The city is all but ready, the venues are all but complete. The finishing touches now being put over the next couple of days to the Seine riverbanks, because the river flowing through the centre of Paris, the Seine, will be where the opening ceremony will be taking place. Dozens of boats carrying thousands of athletes travelling down the river for the spectacle, which will finish just next to the Eiffel Tower. All of the bridges over the river will be filled with people, music and dance and artistic performances as part of the opening ceremony, and some 300,000 people set to be in the stands along the 6-kilometre route watching the amazing opening ceremony live. The first time an opening ceremony has ever been staged at an Olympics outside the stadium. It's usually in the Olympic Stadium. Paris 2024 organisers said they wanted to do something completely different, not hold it in a stadium, hold it on the river, on a moving waterway in the centre of the French capital. Although there are lots of security concerns about that, the police and the Interior Ministry working overtime to try to ensure that any possible threats to the Olympic opening ceremony are suppressed ahead of time. So the preparations underway, and the games get underway for sure on the 26th of July.
And also, Ross, are there any special arrangements outside the stadium for the fans who cannot make it to the stadium inside there watching the events live?
Yes, there are fan zones across the city, dozens of them. There's also an urban zone. So just down the road from here, from where I am on the Champs-Élysées, is Place de la Concorde, one of the biggest public squares in Paris, which has been completely taken over by Paris 2024 for the urban sports. The skateboarding, the 3-on-3 basketball, the BMX, cycling, also the break dancing. And there is an urban zone there where you can mix and you can watch some of the things on big screens right up close. You'll be able to see some of the events in the background. You won't be able to get a ticket to access, but there are mixed zones for fans also to try to soak up the atmosphere as close as possible to the venue, even if you don't have a ticket to access inside the venue. So lots of fan zones and lots of areas where there could be accessibility for people who don't happen to have a ticket.
Thank you so much, Ross, for joining us and bringing us the latest information on how the preparations are going on there in Paris for the upcoming Paris Olympics. Now, during the opening ceremony of the Paris Games, Khalid will be one of the 94 boat captains transporting nearly 10,000 athletes down the Seine River. A captain on the Seine since 2010, the 60-year-old heard a couple of months ago that he would be taking part in the 6 kilometers parade. The parade starts at 7:30 p.m. according to local time. The crew have already taken part in 2 training sessions. The sailors are trained to navigate specific conditions and follow safety protocols as well. Khalid is aware of the security risks during the ceremony, but he is thrilled to take part in the event.
I have been a boat captain on the Seine River since 2010. I have walked on several boats, including this one. We cannot wait and we are excited. You have no idea how happy I am to participate in these Olympic Games that many French people, 67 million French people to be exact, would also like to be among us. It's a great source of pride. Frankly, I'm happy to represent my nation, which is France.
Time to take a short break here on Sports Buzz, but still to come on the other side. Surya Kumar Yadav to don a new role as the captain of T20 international men's team. And Manchester City signed Brazilian winger Sofino.
While there's still enough food for everyone on the planet, food shortages are a real problem. Let's take a look at the factors causing this and what can be done to save our food.
What we host now, it's called Farm School. One of the goals is to teach them agriculture so that 50 years from now, when there's so much change in climate, they don't have to deal with learning two new skills.
We empower women who are really poor and who don't have too much economic empowerment to eat better.
We adopt this strategy in our product. The volatile compounds induce the defence mechanism and help to prolong shelf life by 2 more days, so it's purely natural.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue with latest updates in the world of sports and Sports Buzz. Now, 22 times major champion Rafael Nadal will lock horns. Rather, he is locking horns with 4th seed Mariano Navon in the quarterfinal round of the Swedish Open. Earlier on Thursday, Rafael Nadal downed 5th seeded Brit Cameron Norrie in straight sets in their last 16 encounter. The 22-time Grand Slam champion, who recovered from a fall in the second set, claimed a 6-4, 6-4 victory to advance to just his second quarterfinal of the season. Meanwhile, Mariano Navon entered quarterfinals after the 4th seed saw off Indian Sumit Nagal by 6-4 and 6-2. Top 2 seeds Alexander Zverev and Holger Rune both advanced to the Hamburg Open quarterfinals. German defending champion Zverev overcame a first set wobble where he bemoaned a double bounce that was not called in his favour on set point to win by 4-6, 6-2 and 7-5. Denmark Rune's eased past Argentine qualifier Marco Trungelliti by 6-4, 6-3, while 5th seeded Frenchman Arthur Fils saw off Serbian Laszlo Tjere by 7-6 and 6-2. On to cricket now. The BCCI Selection Committee announced India's squad for the upcoming white ball series against Sri Lanka on Thursday. Surya Kumar Yadav has been named as the new captain, donning the T20I role after Rohit Sharma decided to retire from the shortest format after the T20 Cricket World Cup triumph last month. Both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli are included in the ODI squad as India kick off their early preparations for next year's ICC Champions Trophy. In major changes, KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer return to the white ball cricket for the first time in 2024. Senior cricketers Hardik Pandya, Rishabh Pant, Mohammad Siraj, Arshdeep Singh and Akshar Patel all return to T20I setup. Jasprit Bumrah has been rested for the series. And the first day of the 2024 Women's Asia Cup on Friday will see the big clash between Indian women's cricket team and Pakistan at the Rangiri Dumbala International Cricket Stadium. India will come in this game as the defending champions and have won the tournament 7 times so far. They also have an 11-3 lead over Pakistan in women's T20 meetings. On the other hand, Pakistan entered the event after an inconsistent run of results in their bilateral commitments, but they have the confidence to upstage India as they did in the 2022 edition of the tournament at Sylhet in Bangladesh. Staying on cricket, Ollie Pope rode his luck to 100 as England ended the first day of the second test against the West Indies at Trent Bridge on Thursday in a commanding position at 416 all out. Both the sides had reason to feel frustrated, with West Indies dropping 4 catches, Ollie Pope being reprieved twice and wicketkeeper Joshua Da Silva missing a stumping. Meanwhile, Ben Duckett launched the innings with a rapid 71 after fellow opener Zach Crawley fell for a duck. Also, England raced to 50 in a mere 4.2 overs, which is the quickest the side has reached that total in a test match. It was all very much in the spirit of best ball, the nickname for England's aggressive style of test cricket under captain Ben Stokes and coach Brendan McCullum. On to soccer now. Premier League champions Manchester City said on Thursday that Brazil winger Savino has joined on a 5-year contract with the club. The 20-year-old was on loan from French club Troyes at Spanish club Girona last season, scoring 9 goals in 37 La Liga appearances. Savino has played 7 times for Brazil and scored his first international goal last month against Paraguay in Copa America. Meanwhile, Manchester City, who won the last 4 Premier League titles, began their defence of the trophy at Chelsea on the 18th of August. They will begin it rather. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag said that club is still in the process of building their squad and has less depth than many of their Premier League rivals. He blamed injuries for last season's disappointing 8th place finish. Ten Hag earlier this month extended his contract until 2026, despite speculation that he would be fired after a poor season. Ten Hag's position looks almost untenable as last season headed to a close, but the 2-1 victory over Man City in the FA Cup final at Wembley saved his job. The 54-year-old Dutchman admitted the season did leave him exhausted. Former Arsenal, Barcelona and Chelsea striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has joined Al Qadsiya. 35-year-old Aubameyang is the latest high-profile name in European soccer to join the Kobar-based club after former Real Madrid defender and former Wolfsburg keeper Koen Casillas. Gabon international Aubameyang, who won a La Liga title in Barcelona, the German Cup at Borussia Dortmund and the FA Cup at Arsenal, played 34 League One matches after joining Olympique de Marseille last season. On to fencing now. Prominent ace fencer of India, Tashiya Singh, has made the nation proud by winning a silver medal along with a bronze medal in sabre category in the ongoing Commonwealth Junior and Cadet Championship 2024 in Christchurch, New Zealand. The other team members representing the country includes Zafarlin from Tamil Nadu, S. Tanvi from Karnataka and Chavi Sharma from Jammu and Kashmir. And now with just a week to go for Paris Olympics 2024, we at DD India gear up for an extensive coverage of the upcoming Olympic Games. Watch our special coverage here for Bharat from the 22nd of July, Monday, as we bring you a preview of the Indian contingent, all the 16 disciplines and players that will be participating in our exclusive reports and much more.
As the world gears up for the biggest sporting extravaganza, Olympics 2024, we at DD India are all set to bring you reports, reactions and all the latest action from Ground Zero. Watch DD India's super exclusive show, Cheer for Bharat. Only on DD India from July the 22nd at 6:30 p.m. IST, 1 p.m. GMT. Get ready to cheer for Indian athletes at the Paris Olympics 2024.
That's all for this edition of DD India Sports Buzz. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I am Deepika Mehto, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India Sports Buzz. Namaskar.